let's get down to business, okay? So this is day 3, 12 days of Christmas movies. All right, let's get down to business, right? We're getting down to it. So day 3, I did the first one was Bad Santa. I think that's my my one of my favorites ever. The How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the good one, was day 2, and day 3 is guess what? Yeah, that's right. Polar Express. I watched this when I was young. I don't know how old. I just remember I was in elementary school and they gave us a bell and it jangled and I was like, yes, I still got that bell. It's jangling somewhere. But so Polar Express is really good. So it's basically one of those stories where it's like a kid doesn't believe in Santa Claus type of story situation, and it's like that's a good angle or whatever, but it's just like each one of these have a lesson. You know, there was no second Polar Express because the first Polar Express did its job. Stop making twos of things that don't need twos. Stop it. Stop trying to make money off of other people's greatness. Make your own crap. All right, so let's get to it. So Polar Express starts with this boy who basically he's just like, whatever, I don't really care about Christmas. He's like humbug basically, except he's just a little kid. And there's this train that is on the street. It has no track. He just drives, and there's also what's his face is in this movie like 30 times. I guess he's supposed to be the little boy as well, but I don't know how that worked. But what's that dude named Tom Hanks? He plays the conductor. He plays the hobo. Let's go. So he's laying in his bed and he hears the train outside. He grabs his coat and there's a hole in it, and that's for later. He rips a hole in it. He grabs it. It goes outside. It's a little itty bitty like robe. So I don't know how that's keeping him any type of warm, like whatever. So he goes outside and dude's like, yeah, coming? And he's like, where? Why, to the North Pole, of course. This is the Polar Express. And it's like all quiet outside. People trying to get some sleep and he's screaming. So, he's like, nah, because my stranger danger, boy. And he's like, shoot yourself. And then they go, and they go. And he's like, you know what? I think I am going to go. So he goes and he jumps on there and then he sees this little black girl. I am just so happy that there's a little black girl in this movie. It makes me really happy. It's her. People probably think she's annoying. I really don't think she's annoying. Like, everybody else in this movie is more annoying than she is. Like, you know, that little boy that kind of looks like Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle that's got the big old clanky boots. The dude with the glasses is more annoying than this black girl. But she's so cool. She's just a kid. So he meets her and I don't know why he doesn't know anybody on this train, because you think that if this train's picking up a bunch of kids, like kids from his neighborhood, he would know, but I guess he doesn't know any of them. And then this dude with the glasses who sounds like that kid or that guy that was working at the, what's that, Nacho Shack or whatever from Kim Possible. He's got a very nasally type of, and he's got glasses. He's like, hey, don't you know this train goes 17 miles? He's like Ben Shapiro, like when he was 10 years old or something. But, so he meets this know-it-all kid and they're just like, oh, cool, everything's cool, da-da-da-da. And I haven't seen this movie in a while, but eventually there's this next kid that gets on. And like I told you, the clanky boots kid, he's got big old huge boots. They go to him, give him the spiel of, this is the Polar Express. Like, he does the whole thing every time. And he also does that thing where he's like, oh, I want to go after you. I already said no. And he falls into the snow flat on his face. So the boy stops the train for like the first time. And he's like, okay, what on earth? Who stopped this train? And he's like, oh, hey, someone needs to get on. And he's like, okay, I guess that's okay. So he gets on. And he's like, there's a whole ticket situation. There's a whole ticket fiasco. But I think before that, there's this hot chocolate scene, which is my favorite scene in the whole movie. It's like it's kind of This movie's kind of like a musical, but not really. There's like some songs. Like my mom and I did a duet a long time ago of the song with the Clanky Boots boy and the black girl, and it was really cool. She wants to go give him hot chocolate because he missed out. So she puts one below, and she gets another one, and she gives the other one to him. And it's like, oh, thanks. And then I think after that's why her ticket went missing, because he was like, oh, hey, here's your ticket, and stupid idiot boy couldn't just leave the ticket on the thing. He had to go give it to her, and it flew out, and it went out into the world. And he's like, wow, your ticket's gone. And then, oh, oopsies, out of nowhere, out of literally nowhere, this dude comes out talking about, all right, tickets, everyone. I need to look at your tickets. And she's like, I can't find mine. And he's like, I accidentally threw it out the window, so you can have mine. He's like, ah! Because each ticket is represented for each person's, like, what they went through to get there, like, what they've overcome. And that's at the end. But, so he grabs her and makes it seem like she's going, like, I guess to be thrown off the train, especially since that boy with the glasses, since he knows it all, he's talking about, she's going off the train, I'm being Shapiro, like, that he straight up tells everyone that she's going to be thrown off the train, which is so dumb. So he runs out and he goes to try to get her, and he goes through this thing where there's a bunch of toys, and he goes on the roof, and all this stuff happens, all trying to get to the North Pole. There's caribou on the ice, and, like, turns out, okay, everything's fine. She's not thrown off the train. They just made her conductor for some reason, and the actual people running the train are, like, up in the front fixing the light or whatever, and that's when the caribou happened and all that. And they go through this, they go on an ice thing and everything, and, like, there's this river they go over. All this is happening, and ain't nobody got no insurance for this. Kids could die, but whatever. They get to the North Pole, and old boy won't get out because he's being stupid. And he's like, oh, Santa Claus never comes to my house. Boom, 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 boom. So they all three get together, and they go, and everyone's missing. They're in the North Pole right now, and everything looks big for some reason. And they end up getting lost. They go where the presents are, basically, and the boy finds a present for him, and he grabs it. Oh boy, with the clanky boots, because he's like, wow, Santa Claus actually cares, and everything is great and dandy. And eventually they meet back up with the crew, and it's in the, like, town square where Santa Claus arrives and gives the first present of Christmas to somebody. And the main character, everyone's like, oh, look, I hear the bells, they're so beautiful, da, da, da. And he's like, I can't hear nothing, because he doesn't believe. And then Santa Claus, who's also Tom Hanks, talks about what you want for Christmas, boy. And he whispers in his ear, it's like, interesting. So he gives him that bell or whatever, he puts it in his pocket, and then he realizes that the pocket he put it in was broken from the beginning. And he's like, wow, I just lost the thing that I got from Santa Claus. What a loser. So they go home and all that, basically, and he's like, wow, this sucks. Everyone goes home and gets their ticket of, I don't want to spoil what it says, really, because I think this is a good movie, and it's something that if you haven't seen, you should probably watch. I'm skipping over a lot because it's a really good, intricate movie. But each character is given a word on their ticket that represents what they learned and what they gained along the road to Santa Claus, to the North Pole. And he's like, okay, I guess this is all right. And he goes home. He wakes up. The bell is in the box under the tree, and his parents ring it, and they can't hear it. And also Tom Hanks is his dad as well. Like, Tom Hanks is 50% of this movie. But the mom rings it, and she can't hear anything. The little sister that he has can hear it, but he says eventually she she can't hear it anymore, but he hears it even in old age. And I think that's so cool. So that's basically the Polar Express. This one's pretty short because it's a really short movie. It's got a few other things in it, but that's the gist of it. Like I said, the next one might be Bad Santa 2. We've got a lot of other things to go over, which include but not limited to Elf, Eloise at Christmas, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Don't add me. It's a Christmas movie. It's not a Halloween movie. It's a Christmas movie. You know, let me explain to you why I say The Nightmare Before Christmas is not a Halloween movie. Because Halloween happens and then it's over. Christmas is the next thing that the whole movie's basically leading up to. Halloween happens and then it's over. So tell me, if you watch a movie and in the beginning of it, it's like Valentine's Day and then Valentine's Day's over and then the rest of it is leading up to St. Patrick's Day, what's the movie about? Is it about Valentine's Day when 5 minutes into the movie it's already over? Or is it about St. Patrick's freaking Day? Thank you for watching. Please, if you haven't looked at the first two, I suggest watching those. They're a little longer. This one's kind of short because, like I said, this is a short movie, and it's a movie that I really want y'all to see. And it's real intricate. Some things that I just can't explain. You got to see. It's one for family. The first two are kind of like less appropriate for family gatherings. Like, I mean, How the Grinch Stole Christmas has a few things in it that make it like what, but it goes over kids' heads. Now, Bad Santa is just not for kids at all. The Polar Express is exactly for children. It's not something maybe adults will enjoy, but it was pretty good to me when I was younger, and I still like it to this day. So, cool. Subscribe. When the next time I see y'all, we'll be doing day 4. Let's go.